What the deal? Back at you niggas again. Picking up where I left off. Well, really, I left off. I was about to get into really the science of the white woman. Now, when I say white woman, I'm not talking about white people. I'm talking about the concept of white woman, the white light, or the light within the white lady. See, in Kemet you had the concept of the white lady, but it was talking about the pineal gland, the white light inside of the pineal gland, which is called the baby being stone. The white light within the belly, period. But before I get into that, you know, cause a couple of things I want to speak on from the last video. The whole Christmas in July thing, this is what I'm starting to see. The sun, the summer solstice that they say is in June, is the summer solstice of the sun. The one in July is the solstice of Sirius. This is, like I was saying in the last video, the pyramid was put there to capture the light at the summer solstice. Why would it be off? Unless we put that shit down there. They said that shit wasn't even built. They said that shit manifested from the spirit realm, just like the bees and shit, and wheat and all that. But whatever, however you want to look at it, whether some niggas built it or it just came in or whatever. Now they was sticking with the which was one of the general themes of sticking with that which was one of the general themes of Kemet, which is put emphasis on the reconciliation of the opposites. And to have opposites, you have to have contradictions or whatever. But you're supposed to be in the middle point. So that's what the Great Pyramid itself symbolizes. It's not in the middle. It's it basically symbolizes the pineal gland, which sits in the middle of the two other pyramids, which is the masculine part of the brain and feminine part of the brain, whatever. The globe. See, we take you to Santa Claus real quick, and this is why the 4th of July is important too, because the 4th of July symbolizes the nocturnal sun when it's below the earth after it sits at the middle point of the earth, or in a position where it's lined right up with the pole of the earth. That's where the whole North Pole thing comes from. The earth is the great face. That's the head. The globe shape alludes to the roundness, the 360 degrees, whether you want to get the earth as round or whatever, but it's really flat. It's a flat surface. It spins in a circle, and the electromagnetic force field, which really, that's a whole other story, but that's where the globe thing comes from. The egg, the cracking of that's when the gateway opened. When they say the Taurus bull cracked the egg from which the Gemini twins was born from. That's the sun piercing through the electromagnetic force field, or you penetrating the darkness of your physical existence. This is what the whole process of the pyramid and the sun and the star series represent. The sun being lined up with this pole, the energy going through that pole to shoot through the top of the pole being the Great Pyramid. The Great Pyramid sends the light out. This is we just use this as a backdrop, you know what I'm saying? Because all this shit is really a symbol of what's going on inside you. But the energy shoot out the top of that pyramid, just like you shoot a firecracker or the fireworks in the air, and that shit spread everywhere. It's the same. That's where that concept come from. That's why 4th of July has the whole fireworks ceremonial. That is paying tribute to the star series, because the star series, when the sun sets, the star series sits during the summer. When I was tracing it, it sits in the northern sky, pretty much right above where the sun would be at. Below it, it lines right up with the sun. So the sun will be beneath the earth right here. The star you'll be able to see in the sky will be right here, and the earth will be in front of all that. Well, we'll be right here, and that'll be a process that's taking place in the southern heavens, which is the bottom or beneath the earth, and the shit you can see in the sky, the sky whatever. But that's what the Christmas of July shit was. So I think June is the summer solstice of the sun, but 4th of July is when Sirius is probably lines up or passes right over the Great Pyramid to where that pyramid can capture that light. So Sirius is where the light of the sun, where the light gets its where the sun gets its light from. So even the sun you see is like, it's a reflection of a greater light. So that's what Santa Claus hat is. The white band around the head, that symbolizes the orbit of the white moon around the earth. But the white dot that sits at the bottom or at the cone, at the tip of the pyramid of the Santa Claus hat, that symbolizes the star Sirius. That would be up here while the sun is down here beneath the earth. The earth in the middle, the sun is down here at night, and the star is in the sky. And that star is a greater star. It doesn't shine, it don't look like it's shining as hard as the sun from here because we're closer to the sun, but that light is greater than the sun's light. That's where the sun gets its light from. Then this shit is all a prism, because star Sirius, that's a white light, but when you see it flashing in the sky, you see all the different colors. All the different colors you see that the stars flashing is really you seeing a process of this light of this light filtering through a prism. And the prism, let's go back to the soot typhus thing. Osiris was dismembered, he was cut up. The white light coming down in the earth is broke apart by this spectrum. I mean, by this prism, it's broken down into different light spectrum. So all the lights you see flashing is just different, same colors your chakras flash, because it's the same process. And the position of the sun when it sets and is below the earth in relation to the star Sirius creates red. That's why the sun starts to turn red when it goes down. That's why Santa Claus hat is red. The beard, the white beard, see, everything I just got to tell you right now about the cap and shit, that's summer shit. The Santa Claus of winter is the man with the gray beard. The beard is called the long face, because this is when the sun is in its furthest position below and away from the earth, so the light rays have to cast a little longer, just like the beard is a little longer, or the beard is long. The rays of the light traveling at a great further distance than they usually would to reach the earth. They got excuse me, I'm trying to, my goddamn camera, this shit only record, I be trying to stay in the zone. This shit only record like, I can only record like an hour per video right now, so I'm trying to speak all fast and shit. But that's the thing is, so Now to break the shit down in time, this is what our ancestors used to do with time. I'm finna show you. Now that was set tight for you right there. Break it down at the prism. That's where the colors of Christmas come from. It's a colorful holiday because it's the colorfulness of it alludes to the breaking up of the white light to these different spectrums. And you call them planets, but basically each one of your chakras, speaking from an astronomical aspect, we'll say that each one of your chakras are ruled by a particular planet. But actually the planets, the concept of the planets themselves just represents the certain energies that already exist within you. So all these chakras are basically, planets are basically code words for your chakras. All this shit takes place within you. That's why ain't nobody go to no motherfucking moon. Only way you gonna go to the moon is through that goddamn pyramid. And if you ain't got the pyramid, you ain't going to the moon. Ain't no, you think these, if anything, they sending motherfucking satellites out there. Any nigga in this goddamn right mind getting a rocket ship talking about they going to space, fucking with the white man and NASA. Just think about the concept. I don't trust, look, even just from a human perspective of this shit. Let's just break it down, we just regular niggas talking. Put the guard shit and all that to the side, right? We just talking like regular niggas. But then you think I'm finna let these boys put me on a rocket ship talking about, yeah, we gonna send you to the space and you'll be back in 5, 6. I don't trust you motherfuckers like that. Maybe if it was some niggas, I'd probably consider it. And I ain't trusting niggas like that on some human shit. But you really go to this place through the mind. This is how you time travel and space travel and all that shit. It's a real thing. That's the long face. That's part of the Santa Claus thing. The lights, the colorfulness comes from the breaking up of the white light. Cause you got one picture I took or a video I shot where you see the colors flash from Sirius, and then you see a point where Sirius B lines up. That was a lineup too. See, this shit is a little bit more deeper than you niggas would like to believe, perhaps. But that's that's why the colorfulness come from, even with the 4th of July thing. So what I'm getting is the summer solstice is when the sun is at its most northerly position, but it's actually which symbolize the light being drawn down through the pyramid during the day, the sun crossing right over it during the day, and then at night would be when the sun crosses right under it, but line up with it under from a southern position at night or whatever, and then but the splitting of the light and all that, that's just another form of that's just one of the many things that the whole story of Set, dismembering Osiris, corresponds to. So they say it was 360 days. They say the original, they said the original way that we took time before the solar calendar was the lunar calendar. And the lunar calendar was broken down into months, 28 day moon cycles or whatever. So you have to do the mathematics. It was 360 days, and they said they gave 5 days to the gods. Those 5 days, okay, that's why you can't get trapped. You gotta learn how to step outside the box. Now let's just say them 5 days really symbolically meant 5 weeks. That'd be an extra week they give to each major. So you got 4 seasons, so you take that. If you just divide that 5 by 4, that'll give you 4 extra weeks. 1 week can be given to each month equally, and then you have a whole week left over. And it's like they basically took the days that was left over, and which you would have 10 days, because it was a 10-day thing. Each week was 10 days. So after that, you had 10 days. Then uh they pretty much split the 10, which you can probably look at as another way of them saying another 10 week 10 weeks or whatever. And you know, all that was added to the calendar, which led to the creation of a whole nother month. So when they say they added the month, on one hand you'll read that, say like when I read it said that the Greeks or something added the month, but really I think fuck that, the ancestors added that month, or we added that month, because the thing where the month was added at is they say Virgo and Scorpio were at one time it was just one sign, back when it was just 10 months. The 12 months come when you add the Libra sign. The Libra was added in between with the go back to the whole thing about the Christ splitting open the womb of the mother. They say Horus was born out the side of Isis. Well, Virgo, August, the Virgo month, is the sun entering into the Virgin, or that's the Immaculate Conception. That's the sun going into the Virgo. Is in the Bible that would be the Holy Spirit impregnating Mary, or in this case Isis, or whatever you want to call it. But then on a deeper level, it symbolizes the point, because it's the 8th month. So by being the 8th month, it corresponds to that point where after the physical body of the baby is built within the stomach or the womb, that's when all that energy that was used to build the body, which the God conscious, goes to rest, or goes to hell, or goes to the lowest chakra within the body. After you created all these vortexes or whatever, it goes, it concentrates at the base of the spine. So, the 8th month would be when the will basically represent when the soul comes to a balance, because 8 is a number of balance. You know what I'm saying? So when the soul actually concentrates inside the physical body or whatever after it's been built in the mother. And that's probably what determines when the water break and all that. Once that process is complete, then you know one thing leads to another. So you have that's the Virgo, the mother and the son. The adding of the Libra, that's set type and shit. That's the split. It split, separated Virgo from Scorpio. That created 2 new houses. Virgo has his the Virgo thing is there. Virgo constellation is there, or the zodiac is there. Then the new one is Libra, which is a balance between, which represents the balance of the Virgo and the Scorpio in a separated state. And then you have the y'all always do the separation thing. I'm gonna show y'all this shit through numbers too in a minute. The separation is the whole balance, or the Libra was put there to split these 2 in half and create 2 new zodiac houses, or one really, and one takes the full form, and at the same time add another one. So that's where the whole 12. That's how it comes out to that's where the 12 thing comes back into play at, because it's 12 months and it's 30 weeks, but then like I said, they said it was originally 10 months, and they said it became 12. by adding that zodiac. So, but if you, that's just one way to look at it. But you flip, on the flip side, you look at it in the sense of when they say that 5 weeks was given to the gods. When you look at the 5 weeks or 5 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One is Osiris. Because one is Osiris. They say Osiris was born on the first day, Neptune the second, Soot on the third, and Isis on the fourth. Soot and Neptune, Soot is the dark side of the feminine. Neptune is the dark. Soot is the masculine dark half, the sun. Neptune is the feminine dark half. You got a dark half of Osiris, you have a light half of Osiris. Same thing with Isis. It's just that Isis dark side is Neptune, Osiris dark side is Soot. It's all the same thing. It's just different. It's just these symbol. These gods represent processes. So the darkness is where the dismemberment takes place. So the first dismemberment takes place when one turns into two. The number 2 not only represents the division of one into 2 different wholes, just like I was just saying about the whole splitting of the zodiac, but the number itself just represents division. It's the first number. It's the first divided number. So that alludes to or corresponds or connects to the concept of separation that you see within Soot tearing the body of Osiris apart. And then the 3, that's the Sutor. 3, even in the supreme mathematics, 3 is the child. That's Horus. This is the child when he comes to the contingency of Horus and Set. Because the 3 is, 1 is Horus, the light, 2, the dark side, which is Soot. This is him fighting to avenge the death of his father. 3 is the reconciliation of the 2, which brings you into the light. But you come into the light at 7. So 1 would be the Virgo aspect, 2 would be the Scorpio. The 3 is added. The third of the 3 is added as the reconciliation. That's Libra. The 3 corresponds to Libra, because the Libra symbolizes the balance in between Virgo and Zodiac. Virgo and Scorpio. So 1, that's the Virgo. 2, that's the 1 and 2 is the 1 transition into 2 is the beginning of the process of dismemberment. But it's not light and the dark still, but so the 1 going into 2, the separation of that the 2 stands for would be the dismemberment or the tearing apart of the body, or the fracturing of the white light as it begins to come through the prism. That's the 1 transitioning into the 2. The 2 transitioning into the 3 would be the crucifixion of Horus. Osiris' crucifixion was him being trapped in a tree and dismembered. Horus, his was getting his eye put out. The 3 corresponds to the eye. Yeah, 3 eyes, 2 physicals, the 3rd eye. 3 is the number of Horus, or one of them, but it's the baby. It corresponds to the pineal gland, the hypothalamus, pituitary, and pineal gland, and then you have the pineal gland that sits in the center of the left hemisphere, right hemisphere of the brain. 2 hemispheres of the brain, the midpoint. That's 3. So the 2 going into 3 symbolizes the loss of the sight, but at the same time with the potential to regain the sight through the balance of the 3. So if you look at 1 going into 2 and 2 going into 3 as 2 different processes of 2 different versions of one process, that's what you would get. You would get Osiris being the one, the All Father, the invisible, vitalizing force of life, sacrificing itself, or being split up, because that's what happens. The light you see around you is refracted light. It's the light from the source that's broken up and makes you believe that everything is separated. But you understand that everything is connected through the hidden one, the unseen part. You know what I'm saying? The 2 going into 3, that's the baby or the birth thing. But the baby version of Osiris is Horus. Horus' eye is put out, and that's symbolically, just like the black race, the whole you forgetting who you are, or who you are, and run around just thinking you regular when you really divine, that symbolizes the light getting extinguished. So then you got the 3 going into the 4. The 3 going into the 4 would be will represent 2 different aspects. The 3 going into 4 would represent 1, Isis reassembling Osiris when she retrieved all the body parts, and then on the other hand, no, that's what the 3 to 4 would correspond to. Her putting the body back together, but getting the sight back would be 4 going into 5, because that 5th guard was Tahuti, the thought. That's what the word thought. The word thought comes from the word thought. So when you call a woman a thought, all you're doing is telling her who she is, which is wisdom. That's really not. It's just like the word bitch. Somebody call you a bitch, and really go back to the intention of the use of whatever word somebody calling you, really. But just to put that in your face one time, the thought, Tahuti, Djouti, and all that good shit. That is a Mercury mentality. That's it represents it basically represents, because 5 is the number of man. Allah, arm, leg, arm, head. 5 points. She puts his body back together. The 5 points of his body that was cut up into 14 pieces. 1 plus 4 equals 5. Knowledge is the foundation. 4 is the square that the Great Pyramid sits on top of. Those 1, 2, 3 that come before the 4, that's the 1, 2, 3 points of the pyramid. The 4 is the flat land that it sits on. And the 5, when you're dealing with the 4 going into 5, this is Isis going, because the number of Isis is 4. This is Isis going to Tahuti, because she had to go to Tahuti to get to restore the sight of Heru. 5 is power. You want to get the power back. So she goes and get the power back, restores his energy. 5 goes into 6. What's the 6? 6 is the balance. 3 and 6. They 3 and 6. 3 and 6. One and the same. 6 can be divided by 3 equally, but the 6, that would represent equality. That's the ultimate balance of that's basically, in so many words, you can look at it like this. That's when all 3 eyes of the black man and the black woman is because it'd be 6 divided by 3 would be 2. So that's 2 entities or 2 people with their 3rd eyes woken up. And they wake each other up by the man teaching the woman how to be more rational and more in tune with her masculine side, and the woman teaching the man how to be more in tune with his feminine side, so they can both have a balance, both be a 3, which would be 6, which is equality. It is a Mayat number. Once that happens, that's how you become God. And you go into from the 6 into the 7. That's when you become Christ. When your third eye pineal gland is open, and then you can travel through the 7 chakras. That's the God number. That's why December 25th, 2 plus 5 equals 7. God. So the 6 going into the 7 would symbolize the resurrection, or it'll be the celebration of the restoration of the light. That's why you celebrate Christmas, because this is when the sun is starting to travel to a more northerly position above the equator in the earth. So it's going back to its high point. The light is rising back up, just like your Kundalini energy rises back up through your pole that is connected to the triple 3 points, the pineal gland that sits on the top of your dome, on the top of your earth, just like the Great Pyramid and the other 2 pyramids sit on top of the face of the earth. All this shit come back to us. That's why that's what I want. That's what I was trying to get at in the other video, the last video. You know, because the general theme in consciousness is the holidays are not to be celebrated, and the holidays are shunned, but the holidays are a reflection of a process that is taking place within you. So, you know, you leave no stones unturned when it comes to shit that's that major. Anything that have a goddamn effect that major, I don't give a fuck what you think it is. That shit is real. That's like the nigga Bobby was saying. The nigga was like, I don't give a fuck how conscious you is. Walk by a goddamn Walmart or something and they get to playing that Christmas music. I don't give a fuck how tight your kufi is, how your fez is, or how black power you is. That shit has the goddamn effect on you. The Christmas spirit is fucking real. No bullshit. And if, like I said, if you can, you bring that shit to life for your children. If you can, to whatever degree you can. I don't give a damn if you pour to where, well, I got Snickers. It's not a rare. This is a rare thing. I couldn't do the gift thing, but you do something. I'll get in that later, but I wanted to break it down because, you know, they've been playing since in July. They was playing a lot of Christmas sitcom, Christmas editions of sitcoms. Celebrate the Christmas in July thing. So don't sleep on nothing. You know, 4th of July, all that shit tied in. So that's what that's how you use that's how you look at the signs that our ancestors left over. You use the numbers, corresponding the numbers, the alphabets, and all that shit is mixed in. You gotta know how to look for it and bust it down. So, like I say, it was 10. The lunar calendar was 10 months, and somehow we ended up with 12. The 5 days is 5 weeks. 1 week, they gave an extra week to each season, which would on one way of looking at it, it would 1 playing with the 4 and the 1, it would that means that 1 month out of each one of them seasons would have an extra week. It would be 4 weeks instead of 3 weeks and 10 days. So it's the whole concept of the lunar and the solar. It's basically showing you just 2 different ways of looking at time. Really, showing you how that's magical within itself. Because looking at it from afar, even when you flip it around, you might think, well, how is this and it's that? It's like, no, we created this shit. Like, That's why you hear what I'm saying about the 12. Because even when I first tried to figure that out, I'm further along now with what I'm telling you than when than what I had when I first read that. So it's like it's slowly but surely unfolding on what they was doing. So and in so many words, you just look at it like that's why it's all topsy-turvy. One month had 30 days, another month had 31st day, because they scattered, they actually added they were actually adding days and taking away days because they were measuring time from a different perspective, to where basically we created this shit. So many words, they tell you we can do the fuck we want to do. Not saying it wasn't done with a particular purpose, but just the whole concept. You think I tell you it added days and took away days, you'll say the white man done it, but when I say that niggas did it, it'll be a problem. But we done it because we created this shit. We know what the fuck we doing. So you'll hear things like time is off and we kissing over time, and all that has a place too. But just think about that though. It was 10 months at first, and then they said it was a month added. The zodiac of Libra was added to the zodiac, and then that spawned another. And just look at it like this: the Virgo is the light. That's the light within the darkness. That represents that within itself, because the light within the mother, or the mother absorbing the solar light, means she's taking in the light. The Scorpio would be the light in the darkness, because Scorpio is an initiation zodiac sign. That's the house of initiation. So the zodiac represents the light in the dark, going through the initiation and realize that he is the light within the dark. And then the Libra, you do that by having a balance, recognizing the darkness but still being a light within the darkness. And that's what gives birth to the three. The three are the third installation, which was the Libra. It symbolizes the balance between the two. And and then you got the Scorpio thing, which leads you from. So here's another way of looking at it. The Virgo is in the darkness. It unfolds through the process of the transition of Virgo, or the adding, because the adding is the impregnation. The adding is another way of looking at waking up the light within the darkness. So the whole Scorpio being an initiation thing, that's another way I want to break this down too. But that's you look at it like this: you have the mother pregnant with the baby, and Virgo. She splits open, or the Virgo, when the Scorpio is split into two, when the Libra is added. The Libra would be the adding of the Libra would be with a cutting, or the actual addition of the Libra to the zodiac would be the or will represent the Neptunes, and two, the initiation of a separation process, because it separates the Virgo from the Scorpio. But at the same time, it represents a this would be like the concentration of of the soul at the root chakra, which would trigger the birth process within the woman. So when the baby's spiritual energy travels down to the root chakra, it lights it probably illuminates the baby body, and then triggers the mother to cut open or split open so she can give birth, the water breaking, all that. When that soul hits the bottom or hits that root chakra, that's what sounds the signal. Just like so that would correspond to the Libra being added into the zodiac, which splits the Scorpio from the Virgo. The splitting of the Scorpio from the Virgo, that's the birth process. The baby being separated from the mother when she gives birth out of her side. So that's the 1, 2, 3 process. The 4, we're dealing with the 4. That's when you're here as a physical human being and shit, but you don't really know who you are. And then the 5th, and shit, man, this shit can go so many ways, man. I'm going to say some of this shit for the book anyway, so I ain't gonna go too heavy. That's probably why it ain't coming to me how it came last night. But just know that what I just gave y'all, you know what I'm saying? And I'll go more into detail when I actually put this shit down, you know what I'm saying, and write on it. But that's just something to think about. So with the 4 weeks, they leave 10 days left over. Then they took the 10 days and they took the 10 days and somehow the 10 days convert to the calendar, whether it be days or months, whatever that 10 days